Hi, Albert.
Hey Taryn, how you doing?
Good, how are you? Good morning.
I'm good. I'm actually excited to be talking to you about every last one of them. My
Oh, thank
God,
you.
you were such a badass in this movie. I think this is one of your best roles yet, hands down.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you.
So my first question is, how did you get the role of Maggie? How did it all come about?
It's funny because I live out in the desert, Springs, and I work out at this gym. It's a private gym, and I was with my trainer, and he grew up out here and stuff, and he was just asking me, would you ever be open to reading a script? He's like, my boy, is a director, and this and that. I'm like, of course, yeah, I'll read it. So I read it, and I thought it was great. And then I met Christian. He's a director. He's awesome, and we got along great. And we just, we set out to make this movie out here, and I was excited about the role, and also. And then it went through a rewrite, so it got even better. And then I was excited to work with Jake Weber and Richard Dreyfuss, and yeah, I just and get to play this the role for me, which is a little different than normal. So
Yeah, that's what I like. That you got to change roles. Like we're used to seeing you in certain types of roles. Of course, I don't think anything will beat Pennsatucky and Orange is the New Black, but this one actually, you did an amazing job on this one. Especially, I talked to Christian the other day, and he had nothing but praise for you with this role, and I totally agree with that.
well, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Cause yeah, it's cool. Like kind of systematically trying to change it up. It was, you still have to make a living and stuff, but at the same time, I've been saying no to some stuff and trying to invite some new possibilities. So that means a lot to me.
Yeah, and I feel like as someone who's an actor, they need to try different types of things, and here I like the fact that even though Jake is like supposed to be the main villain of the film in some ways, you were more of a superior force to him. There were times when you were like the higher up, and I thought that was a ingenious move on Christian's part to come up with that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where I related to that because I have an older brother, and I would literally throw myself in front of a train for him as well. So it's just like her MO is like protecting her brother, anything that he needs, but truly she's just trying to keep the peace, but she'll go to any extent to do it. And if that appears like maybe she's even not more tough, but just I don't know, more savage, maybe that comes off a bit. For that rawness, within her, and the stuff she's trained to do. The security, the owner of a big security firm.
Yeah, exactly. And was there anything that you felt like you could have done better in terms of shooting the role or anything like that, or you just felt like you just went with it and boom?
I mean, that's such a great question. We always feel like we can do better, right, in life. Like, sometimes with acting, these are some of the things that I like to, share with other actors is like, you know, sometimes we audition in these rooms, they're just like offices, we have to pretend and use our imaginations to like portray our audition or our reading sincerely. And it's like, then sometimes when you get to a set, it's really not that different, it's like, um, you're, you really have to master the craft of, imagination and just completely putting yourself in a scenario that is really the furthest thing for real. But be sincere in that position and keep it simple, keep it clear. Um, if anything, with that type of movie, nowadays with the pandemic and some of these restrictions, 12-hour days are very strict now. There's no overtime really, and I used to love days that went to 13, 14 hours, but that's not good for the crew. But yeah, now it's a lot faster. Skeleton crew very, very pared down. So you have to be prepared. Very prepared and ready to rock. So do better. Let's see. I wish I would have practiced holding like a heavy rifle more, you know, because when you get to set, those are heavy, but you know, lots of gun safety, very strict about that type of thing, and yeah, and you know what? I wish I did better. Sometimes when we're on a movie, you know, we hang out in our trailers and stuff because there's no time to really talk and hang out with people. But then when it's done, you kind of wish that I would have gotten to know people better. But you know, I'm there to do a job and stuff. But yeah, otherwise, I think that one went well.
Yeah, definitely. And I talked to Paul Sloan, the lead star. I feel like he could be a really big action star down the road because him and Christian are like this dream team, hands down. I've seen them in so many.
So is the DP.
Yeah, and I saw them in so many things together, and this was one of their best ones, hands down. What was it like sharing the screen with Richard Dreyfuss? I mean, that guy is like legend.
Yep. Very, very much a legend. You know, it reminds me a lot of like Bruce Byrne. It's the plethora of knowledge, stories, you know, wisdom. He loves to, you know, chat about all his different experiences. Very smart with politics. Likes to talk about politics a lot. But then all the while, he's, you know, breaks into scene, and you're like, oh, you know. So he was really, really cool. I was really, yeah, I was a little starstruck and just so pleased to be in his presence, and felt like what a privilege it was to get to work around someone like that. Such a great.
Yeah, and what really surprised me is that Christian was telling me the scene with him and Paul where they're playing chess. It was actually all ad-libbed, like they just rolled with it, and that really surprised me. But I think in some ways, when you're improvising a scene, it makes it better than what is scripted, because it might the dialogue might not seem right, but in this case, it's if you ad-lib it can come out a lot better. In this case, it definitely did.
Yeah, sometimes the scene, like the you know, the nuts and the bolts are there on the page, but like there's sometimes those like little spaces that can be filled in with just, you know, idle chit chat, like just how we are, like the and the you know, like just those moments of when humans are trying to find the right words, what to say, and sometimes those moments right there just make it very sincere and kind of fill them in. Writing is always amazing, but if you can round it out without taking away from it, then I encourage that, because it just feels like a real conversation, a real banter.
Yeah, and you mentioned Christian. It was great to work with Christian. Did he allow you any creative freedom in terms of your character at all?
Yeah, so Christian is very lenient about, you know, adding, you know, if you feel that there's something you want to say, or let's say you don't want to say something right there, but you feel like a little later, you know, he's very much a great actor's director, and he knows that. See, my whole thing is, like, even when I directed, I love working with actors, because actors, we're like, you know, we're like cars. Like, we start and like we have to get warmed up and go. Sometimes we just get one take, and it's a disservice, you know, because we need to get going and feel the feeling, you know, but sometimes you don't have that in life. So he was good with that. Some directors are all about the shot. Some directors are all about, you know, the time, making the time. Yep. He really cared about the acting and stuff like that, which is rare. You know, not everyone cares about stuff like that. So.
Right. I think a lot of indie filmmakers, they care about getting it right, whether or not it takes time or money. You know, even though you got the budget, but they still allow the actors that creative freedom. And I think this is why I love indie films a lot more than like the A-list stuff today.
Right, because they're not, you know, they're just, you know, they've lived with their script for so long, and it means so much to them, so they're not going to, like, chintz on that kind of stuff, you know, because it's like, even movies like Hustle and Flow per se, like, the movie was great on the page, but it wasn't totally there, but when we, you know, infused it, it really popped off the page, and some movies are on the page, but then they don't really transcend off the page, or some aren't on the page. So it's just a matter of all those ingredients coming together. And I love when a director understands that. Exactly.
So finally, after this film, what can we expect next from you that you can actually talk about?
I have another movie coming out where I play an FBI agent called Sanctioning Evil. that's going to be amazing. That has a great cast, and another film, you know, it talks about, you know, the corruption with the government and the endless war in the Middle East, and just, you know, coming back as a soldier from that and having some issues when you were deployed, and yeah, just stuff like that. Just a big investigation, and I think that one's going to be great. That's it for now. I just put out about six or seven movies in the last year. I'm like, yeah, I had a good year.
Yeah, I think you did, and this role definitely is going to help that one as well, for sure. Because I think you did. I think you did a great job with this movie.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
So,
it's different. It's different for me, so I'm excited.
awesome. So every last one of them actually comes out today. And Taryn, I am extremely honored to have talked to you, and thank you so much for taking the time to actually talk about this. And I can't wait to see more of you on screen.
Anytime. Thank you so much.
All right, you take care.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.